this week's kitchen creations, we're making School-Kine Spanish rice, and you can find the recipe in today's Star Advertiser. Betty Shimabukuro has a write-up on it, as well as the recipe in the Crave section, so you can check it out yourself. Ronnie Nasuti from Tikis Grill and Bar is here to show us how it's done. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Well, she said this is pretty easy.
Like you, I didn't grow up here, so this isn't one of my childhood flavors, but it comes pretty close to American chop suey we had as kids in the public school system in Massachusetts.
Okay. So you did a little bit of prep already.
I just pre-sweated these things off. This is one-pot cookery. It's supposed to be easy, right? Like the recipe states in the paper. This is something that you can pre-make and feed your whole family with it.
I like that.
It has all the food groups inside of it. I just sweated this off because you only have 3 minutes to put it together.
Okay.
So it's onions, a little bit of vegetable oil, lean ground beef. Okay. You let those onions cook off, get some caramel flavor on them.
And normally you could cook the beef in this recipe, right? Just right now.
You would be doing it exactly like that.
Okay.
I'm doing it so it comes together faster so the guests can see the whole process,
Got
right?
it.
You would be doing it all in stages, and then you'd add with the beef you'd add celery, bell peppers.
Oh, it has a lot of vegetables in it.
There was no red bell peppers when we were in high school, or in school period, right? Always green, lots of flavor.
Always green.
So
they're
stuff,
less expensive.
just like I already did, you'd cook all that until the beef is pretty much cooked.
Okay.
And then you'd add your liquid. So this is a can of stewed tomatoes, kind of crushed up. There you go, stir that around. You could just use stewed tomatoes. You could just use some just crushed tomatoes. This recipe calls for stewed tomatoes and condensed tomato soup, right?
Oh.
That's a power pack of flavor. A lot of secret old recipes have.
Tomato soup, that's smart.
Or condensed soup, because it's flavor
Concentrated?
Flavor concentrated, right?
All right.
So at that point, you'd mix all that up.
Okay.
And then in would go the 2 cups of cooked rice. You could use brown, you could use white, you could mix it. It's not Uncle Ben's rice.
No.
It's local style.
Well, you can use leftover rice too, right?
Cal roast rice. You could use anything you wanted.
Yeah. This looks
so
good.
I thought it looked soupy when I was making it.
Yeah.
And then I called up Betty.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's too much liquid in that recipe. She goes, no, you have to bake it. It all tightens up after you bake it. So that's essentially what you get. So you'd sprinkle the cheese on that. And then when you're done, you'd get this. And apparently that's how the Department of Education did it. They made the sauce separately. They made the rice separately. They sprinkled American cheese all over it. And they baked it in pans in the oven and fed apparently thousands of local kids. So I think almost everyone I've spoken to has had this locally.
It's delicious.
I thought it was really good too.
Thank Ronnie for showing us how to do this. And again, you can check the recipe out in the Crave section of the Star Advertiser. We'll be right back. I'm gonna eat this.